What's up, people? Welcome to this week's Bite-Size News, where we talk about everything about AI. Wait for anybody to jump in, otherwise I'll probably just get started here in a second. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Testing out a new mic today. Try to improve the audio quality we get here on these lives. All right, so I don't want to keep anybody waiting if you're watching this after the live's over, so I won't spend too much time waiting for people to roll in here. Lots of cool stuff happening this week in AI. First and foremost, OpenAI has officially released the ChatGPT store. This is a lot like Apple's the App Store when Apple came out first with that back in the day. What this is just basically a store with a bunch of custom GPTs, aka apps, that we can use AI to streamline some of the things in our business or even help us out in our personal lives as well. You're going to see everything in this store from, neighborhood advice to like a GPT that I created, which is all about answering questions for cruises. So it's going to be pretty big and they are going to monetize it. So those of us that are actively creating GPTs and releasing them to the public, depending on what their usage level is, there's a chance for some monetization to happen inside that too. So this is pretty big, guys, if you think about it, because what ChatGPT's basically created is a platform that we're able to utilize to sorry, I had a text come in there. I need to learn how to block those notifications off. But no, I mean, what we're going to be able to see here is that these apps are going to dramatically increase the functionality that we have online and getting our questions answers. I really think, in my opinion, that this will probably replace Google and just how we search the internet as we move forward into this. So like I said, you're going to start seeing a lot of people creating these custom GPTs. I created one for cruise enthusiasts or anybody who's thinking about going on a cruise. As you guys know, I did my first cruise in November. It was super awesome. I'm definitely addicted to it now, but I had the best travel agent in the world, Jenny Clark. If you guys are looking to go on vacation, clearly she's the one that you need to contact. But as we were booking this trip, I had so many questions because I had no idea what to expect. And I just kept inundating her with question after question after question. And bless her heart, she was willing to answer all of them for me. She gets back to me in a timely manner, but I didn't want to be that client, right? That's constantly needing help and having questions. So I went on to ChatGPT and I designed my own GPT that knows everything there is. It's programmed to know everything there is about the cruise world, right? So it can get us cruise pricing. It can let us know what cruises are leaving from where, new ships that are coming out, and it even answers questions as to what's the experience going to be like on the cruise ship. So for one of the things that I was surprised I actually got an answer to was, I like to smoke cigars when I'm on vacation. It's just a good way that I like to relax. And my GPT was able to actually tell me where on the ship that I can find cigars, where I can smoke the cigars on the ship. And I had never been on there before. So it was answering even the smallest, most detailed questions to help me get a better understanding of how this vacation was going to pan out. So you're going to see these these GPTs all over the board, right? Like I built another one recently that I'm giving to my real estate clients after they close on the house. I deal with a lot of first-time home buyers, and they obviously want to make upgrades and repairs to the houses, and they might not have a bunch of money sitting around to hire a contractor. So I've created a GPT that's connected to the internet, and it basically gives them DIY tutorials, step-by-step tutorials to do tons of different things around their house to upgrade it and remodel it. And I think it's going to be a very valuable tool because as we continue down this age of technology and information, people do want to do more things themselves, right? And these GPTs are going to help walk us through this. It's literally the coolest thing in 2024 so far. So keep an eye out on that. Right now, the GPT store is only available for ChatGPT Plus subscribers. So these are people who pay $20 a month to get access to ChatGPT 4. If you're just using the free version of ChatGPT, which is GPT 3.5, unfortunately for now, you won't be able to access these GPTs. So this is another reason why it's good to pay that Plus subscription so you can get early access to these GPTs. I do think that OpenAI at one point in time is going to make the GPT store available public to people who are not paid subscribers. And this is going to be really crucial to those of us in real estate where we can build these custom GPTs for our clients and send them out. For example, I've got another GPT I built that shows the school rankings, right? So instead of having to go online, type in your school information, you can literally open up my GPT, say what neighborhood you're interested in, and it'll tell you all of the schools in that neighborhood, what their rankings are, what their specialties are, and even breaks down the demographics. So it's just a really informative tool that I think we're going to be able to use to improve our customer service as we go into 2024. And like I say all the time, at the end of the day, the number one priority for me is customer satisfaction and making sure that that client journey with them is the best possible experience that you could give somebody that's making one of the largest purchases of their lives. So that's it, guys. That's a ChatGPT store in a nutshell. Moving on, we're going to start seeing a lot more artificial intelligence coming to our mobile platforms. So Google has actually announced that it's going to have AI integration in the Pixel 8. So this is beyond releasing a new cell phone that's got like an AI CPU in it. This is them actually integrating some AI technology. It's going to be Gemini Nano is what it's called. And this is a large language model produced by Google. And you're going to have access to this. So all you Android users out there, we are getting AI into the cell phones before anybody else. Now, that doesn't mean that Apple's not playing the game too. They've recently announced that they're actually making a pretty major upgrade to Siri. So Siri will have AI capabilities now. It should be more conversational and less clunky. I'm sure that even the most avid Apple users can admit that Siri sucks as a personal assistant. So this should bridge some of that gap of that clunkiness and make it more streamlined and efficient for its intended use, which is to be kind of like a personal assistant on your phone. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know when they're releasing it, but I do know it's coming out really, really soon. So while we're on the subject of this AI and kind of the changes that it's making and how good it can be for our clients, we also have to remember that with good comes bad, right? So what we're seeing is that hackers and criminals are starting to utilize AI to trick people into their scams. And one of the biggest, most common ways that we're seeing this right now is hackers are actually taking advantage of an open source software called 11 Labs. And what 11 Labs does is it clones your voice. So you can go to this website and you can speak like 3 or 4 words into it, and it can clone your voice. Well, what these criminals are doing is they're cloning the voice of the people. Excuse me, I'm getting a call. What these criminals are doing is they're cloning the voice of somebody that they want to scam. So, for example, like you could get a call and it could sound like your mom on the other end, and she'll be frantic and say like, "Oh, I'm in a situation and I don't have access to the bank cards and I need you to give me your credit card number so I can pay this tow truck," or whatever it may be. And you're going to think on the other end that you're actually talking to your mom, right? Because it's going to sound like her. And this is already happening, guys. And what people are doing is they're giving up their financial information thinking that they're helping out a member of their family, and they're really getting scammed. And unfortunately, by the time they find out, these people have access to their bank accounts. They've drained their bank accounts. And, if you've ever had somebody steal from your bank account directly, you'll know that that's a very, very invading situation, and it's hard to deal with because the bank, the way that they see it is it's like you lost your money, right? They're not just going to give you your money back right away. They're going to have to run through their investigation, and it's going to take some time. So to avoid this, one of the things that you guys can start doing is, get your family together and establish a code word. or a code phrase. So that way, if you get one of these scammer calls that comes in and they are cloning the voice of one of your relatives in distress and saying that they need this information, you can circumnavigate this by saying, hey, what's the code phrase, right? And then if they say the code phrase correctly, you're actually talking to your family member and not to a scammer. So this is going to become an increasing problem, especially as AI continues to advance. So just pay close attention to that. As much as I love AI and I'm super excited for the future of it, like I said, there's bad with the good. So we got to just do the best that we can do to protect ourselves. So I think sitting down with your family and coming up with a code phrase or a code word for in case of emergencies is going to be key in making sure that you don't fall victim to some of these scams, because they're getting pretty savvy out there. And on another note, as you might know, the Consumer Electronics Show just took place in Vegas this week. It was huge. They announced a whole bunch of new stuff coming out, and obviously AI was the topic of discussion, as to be expected with everything that's coming out. We've seen a lot of cool announcements. One thing that I actually thought was really cool is Samsung is releasing a new smart fridge. And this smart fridge has the ability to analyze the ingredients inside your refrigerator. So this isn't a situation where you're like taking a picture of the ingredients in your refrigerator and uploading it. Your refrigerator already has the capabilities to scan these items and then tell you what kind of recipes you can have. So this is a type of situation where you can open up your fridge and say, hey, what can I make for dinner today? And because your fridge already knows what the contents are, it will recommend different recipes and step-by-step instructions on how to cook those recipes. So for all you cook enthusiasts out there that are always looking for new ways to cook food and new recipes, this could be something that's very exciting coming to the market here really quick. I'm sure there's going to be a hefty price tag on that. As you already know, smart fridges cost enough to where in a real estate transaction, we actually have to list certain appliances that are like this, because they're so advanced and they're so expensive that they actually change the value of the property. So this is probably going to be one of those appliances, but if you can afford it, oh man, I'm going to come over to your house and we're going to talk some new recipes. So super cool stuff. There's another item that they listed in CES is a smart mirror. And this is kind of going down a little bit more of the serious route. What this mirror is designed to do is it's designed to read the facial expressions on your face, analyze the tonality of your voice, and it can honestly determine whether or not you're depressed, or if you're anxious, or what your mood is. The goal of the mirror is to basically diagnose your mood and then give you helpful advice on what you can do about it. So if you are depressed, like it, recommends things like, mindfulness, meditation, and even affirmations. And it's almost like you have a counselor inside of the mirror, and it's going to change the way we as the general public operate. And I think that as we see this technology start to progress in society, using it to help our mental state is going to be key. Because ever since COVID, I think there's especially with COVID hitting, the mental wellness of the United States is declined significantly. And AI helping us work through these problems for free without having to pay somebody an absorbently large amount of money to talk you through these things, I think is going to be pretty important. So very excited about that, guys. Really, when it was talking about diagnosing your mood, the first thing I thought was holy shit, this is going to be powerful. We could see these things where they're helping people, get off the edge, where sometimes people are not sure if they want to continue on in this life, and suicide's a very real thing, especially with our veteran population. So offering services and items like this to the general public is going to be key, because, good mental health help is hard to find. And when you do find it, it's very expensive. So being able to use large language models to help with this is going to be life-changing for some people. So I'm very excited for that release to come out. But lots of things as in the AI world this week, and I'm sure more to come next week. So That's about it for today, guys. That's for this edition. I guess you'd call it the second edition of Bite Size News. I'm going to be doing this every Thursday, usually between 11 and 12. I was a little bit late today because I was having some meetings, coaching AI to some other agents, and had a meeting with a new agent getting licensed and going to join us here on the Wolfpack. So pretty excited about that. But yeah, stay tuned. Next Thursday, I'll be on with more AI news, and we will go through what's going on in the industry. My final thought for today is lawsuits. So as you guys might know, OpenAI is being sued by the New York Times for copyright infringement. And we've been waiting for OpenAI to respond to this, and they finally did. And their response was kind of surprising. And it's going to be interesting where this goes. I think that we'll probably see an out-of-court settlement between the two. But basically, New York Times is saying that OpenAI is stealing their data and using it for monetary purposes, which is not true. OpenAI's response is that they were cherry picking and prompting the model to do exactly that. So they're saying that it's not necessarily copyright infringement if they're basically being lured into doing it. And then their other position was that, hey, if it's on the internet and I don't have to pay a subscription to see it, then it's fair use, right? So they've even contacted a lot of these publications and given them the option to opt out of their models being trained on it. And the funny thing is that per OpenAI, they were actually talking with the New York Times in regards to training the model with some of their content. And then out of the blue, they get served this lawsuit. So kind of interesting to see what's going to happen here. I think the implications to a court ruling could be pretty negative as far as the AI community goes and how we're able to use AI. I know that New York Times is asking the judge to basically have a destruction of the GPTs, the custom GPTs. So that could change the way that we're able to offer our clients a better experience. So going to be paying very close attention to that in the next coming months. Like I said, I think they'll probably settle out of court for it. But if it does go to court, we could probably see some new restrictions with AI coming here real shortly. And I know I said that was going to be the end, but I did just remember that OpenAI has its first government contract. We did see that the state of Pennsylvania officially signed a contract with OpenAI to utilize their chatbot, ChatGPT, for some of their governmental services. So I'm pretty excited about this too, because I'm sure everybody watching this right now knows exactly what it's like to sit in the DMV and deal with government agencies when it comes to customer service. It's not there, just to be frank. They have no customer service. Most of the employees treat you like, you're ruining their day by being there. And we're seeing for the first time where AI might be able to take over this administrative role for some of these government agencies, which is going to be great for the consumer because we'll be able to get answers to our questions in a much more timely manner. And probably without the attitude. So going to be really interesting on how this develops. I hope that Colorado takes on some of this soon. We could see a situation where, going into renew your registration could be very, very easy and less time consuming if you even need to show up in person to do that anymore. So yeah, guys, it's been a big week in AI. Next week's going to be big too. So I look forward to jumping back on next Thursday for another edition of Bite Size News. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment and engage with this. If you felt like you got any value on this, it does help the algorithm put this video out to other people. And the goal is to get this out to as many people as possible because there's just really not a lot of people talking about it right now. It's still kind of in its infancy stage and a little strange to some people. And what I want to do for you guys is help you understand that AI is not this scary beast that's going to take over society. It's going to be a situation where we see what's called augmented AI. And this is where the artificial intelligence is going to do a lot of the analyzation for us, but it's going to leave it up to the human input to determine what direction we take with that. So with that being said, I hope everybody has an awesome, awesome weekend. Try to stay warm if you're here in Colorado because it's cold as shit. I've been freezing all week. But yeah, have a great day and a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week.